Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC and I recently got a email on quite a bit older of a video. I'm not sure why it wasn't a comment. Maybe it's just because it was more to say than what you would put in a comment. But regardless, I thought that it deserved a response in a way, and that there might be more people that have that same sort of response that I would like to address. So I'm going to go ahead and make a video on it. Now, this is going to go back to kind of that old school, early rural sort of a thing, to where when we do the ugly truth about SHTF, that we don't know where this is going to go. This is going to probably go off in a few different tangent points and some other different things. So if you were a fan of that, then buckle up, because this is probably where this is going to go. And who knows, this might be a 5 minute video, this might be a 25-minute video. I have no clue. So, but what am I talking about? Well, I did a video on how to bring fun during an SHTF. And the email that I got was, that's pointless stuff. That's not the stuff that a prepping channel should be sharing. SHTF is going to be brutal and ugly and time consuming, and trying to sugarcoat it that there's going to be time for board games and all this other stuff, or that it's even important, is just a bad thing. It's trying to think of the word usage of it, that it was, just a bad thing for me to be going through and trying to, I guess, inject hope that, there might be some laughs and smiles and things like that if there really was a really huge SHTF situation. And I'm going to agree ish, caveat, disagree, and allow me to expand on that. And the way that I want to start out this is that we take an awful lot for granted, right? So the very basics of survival, water, pretty much any one of us, if we're thirsty, you very easily can get up from where you are right now, walk over to any sink in your house, flip on the tap, and guess what? Poof, water, drinkable water. Well, I hope drinkable anyway. Uh, but it wouldn't matter. You could go to the shower, you could go into the sink in the bathroom, into the kitchen, you could go outside to a water spigot. Um, Maybe you're fancy and you have it to where you have the water dispenser coming out into your fridge. Maybe you have a water cooler. Um, Anything along those lines. Or open the fridge and pull out a bottle of water or a pitcher of water. Go into the pantry and get water that's room temperature, right? Maybe something happened and your water got shut off. There's a water main break or whatever, and you don't have any bottled water or whatever. Okay, well, go down to the nearest gas station, go over to some sort of mom and pop store, convenience store, small grocery store, large grocery store, go to Walmart, spend $1 or whatever and get a bottle of water, or spend a couple of dollars, get a case of water. We don't have any sort of anything when it comes to water. It's readily available and for the most part cheap. Same thing with food, right? Um, there's a lot of people probably within its arm's reach. You have a snack somewhere, right? There's a little thing of chips or pretzels or something right there. If not, then it's probably a few feet away into one of the kitchen cupboards or into your pantry. Then again, if that's not it, again, we talked about the grocery stores or the gas station, not to mention all the fast food places that have a dollar menu. So food is there. And if you're hungry, it again, it can be expensive, but if all you want is just some sort of sustenance, then a fast food dollar menu thing for $1 or $2, you can get food. Now, is it good for you and all that? Sure, we can debate all that stuff, but it is edible and it will give you some calories. So, those two things, right? Same thing with medical, right? Probably everybody has some band-aids and maybe some rubbing alcohol and some other things, maybe in the bathroom cabinet or various other points, hopefully maybe in the car and some other things. You have some sort of first aid. If you don't, then you can go into all sorts of stores and go buy those. Or if anything, there's hospitals, there's emergency rooms, there's urgent cares, there's all sorts of places that you can get medical supplies, especially if it's more immediate, and it's all right there. Same thing with power. Flip the switch on the wall, right? Hit the button. It's all right there at your disposal. Same thing with cooking the food that we just talked about. A turn of a dial, a flick of a switch, a push of a button, poof, your food is cooking. And we take a lot of this stuff for granted all the time. Now, sometimes we get those reminders when somebody hits a pole and we get a little bit of a power outage or a storm comes through or, just various things happen. And for a short period of time, we experience what it's like to have no power. And for the most part, it's not that big of a deal, right? And so I get it. We live in a time of peace and prosperity. And for the most part, I think just about everybody's going to watch this has a roof over their head, food, water, medical supplies, safety, security, a bed to sleep in, clothing. Uh, all of your needs are met, and probably a good amount of your wants are met. So let's switch over and put on the different hat of SHTF. Yes, you're going to have to deal with all that stuff because you can't run out to the local grocery store or the fast food store or the gas station or anything like that. You're going to have to meet those needs and or wants yourself. And so when it comes to food, you're either going to and we're talking about you're not living completely out of your pantry, right? Because you're going to have residual food sources. So you're going to be either hunting, trapping, fishing, or growing or foraging. Those are basically your only other options. I suppose bartering, if you really want to throw that in there, it's not a bad way per se, but I wouldn't rely on it. And what is all those? Every single one of those. It requires time and energy. Okay. That's I get it. And so we've got to sleep during a 24-hour span. We've got to eat. We've got to go to the bathroom. We do have to rest. You don't open your eyeballs and immediately start doing hard grueling work until you close your eyes. So there is rest periods. When it comes to cooking, you're going to have to prep your food and cook your food, eat your food, clean up from the food. You're going to have laundry to do. You're going to want clean clothes. You're going to have hygienic time, a way to uh, take care of your teeth and take care of your body and things like that. There's a lot of stuff to do when it comes to uh, trying to keep all of your stuff, going, keep all your ducks in a row. And so, yeah, I get it. Especially when you have an SHTF situation, you're going to have a lot of people in panic mode. Adrenaline's going to be high. It's going to be people all over everywhere trying to battle out for resources. And so I get it. But if you have a child or grandchild that is going to be in your household or your mag, then I would argue that fun becomes a necessity. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be all day, every day. The younger probably needs to be still needs to have some sort of fun. But then again, it also doesn't matter what age it is, whether it is 3, 30, uh, 50, 85, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a toddler or grandma. We're human. We like to smile. We like to feel good. We like to laugh. It's great stuff, right? That's why they've come up with the sayings, laughter is the best medicine and things like that. The mind controls the body. And so if we are in a good mood, if we are looking forward to stuff, um, it's a reward system, and whether it is something that is trivial or whether it is something that uh, most others would look and just shake their head or whatever, it doesn't matter, right? To have a higher morale that you're looking forward to that game of tag later, or a good card game, or just even sitting back with a fire and just telling stories, and having a good time and joking and laughing and things like that, to be able to do that. Because if it is non-stop grueling struggling to stay alive, it wears on you mentally, and it can wear on a lot of people. We all have a different mentality and a different breaking point and different levels. Children still need to develop, and so to be able to have that to where they can still run around and play and engage and things like that. You got to remember that through play is where they learn how to do a lot of things. It's a lot of motor functions. It's a lot of ways to get into the rule system. There's rules to games. Well, there's rules on your property. Even in an SHTF situation, there's rules. And like in a game, you break a rule, there's a consequence. In SHTF in real life, if you break a rule, there's a consequence to it. So these kids need to be able to interact and to socialize and to run and develop, to get exercise, to get outside, to get fresh air. It builds strength, it builds character, as well as the adults need to participate too. Just because you're some, burly, big 45-year-old man doesn't necessarily mean that you can't go out there and play tag too. You need to be moving, you need to be laughing and having fun. It builds between everybody that's playing. It's a really good team building thing, but it keeps everybody going. And that's where I say yes, that I agree with them. You're going to have to prioritize. You're going to have to make sure that you got your food and your water and your things like that. And yes, maybe for the first little bit, trying to get everything set up, uh, yeah, it might be hard to, uh, you know, fit a bunch of stuff in. But if we had some, say, 2 5 year whatever long SHTF situation, at some point in time, things are going to settle. And that's not to say that some incident here and there is not going to pop up, but it's still going to have to be one of the ones to where you're going to have to get a routine down. Everybody's got their job, everybody's been doing their job for a little while, everything's working, and so we can start to relax a little bit. It's not to say that we let our guard completely down and everything's completely normal. No, it's SHTF, but we still need to make sure that we are realizing that we're human. Okay, just because we're going through a bad period of time doesn't mean that laughter stops or that fun stops. It's a very important part to our psyche and our mental health when it comes to all this. And it doesn't matter. uh, Everybody has a breaking point. Everybody has a morale level, and you start getting it to where somebody is, say, battle tested, right? It's still one of those that they still have a breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point, and to be able to kind of hit that reset button or to pull that line back a little bit by doing some silly stuff or doing something like a board game or a game of cards, tag, hide and seek, scavenger hunt, all sorts of things that you can do, it really tends to help out a lot more than I think a lot of people want to give it credit to. And, if you haven't seen that video and you're wondering different ideas of what to do, by all means, it's posted. And I think I've done more than one of those videos. If I remember right, I think I've done two or three. There's all sorts of fun things that you can do for cheap or free. And a lot of people take it for granted. Remember your childhood, right? We didn't have the things that they have nowadays. And just remember, a simple ball. You could be outside for all day. I mean, after breakfast all the way to dinner time, with a simple ball. And even if you didn't have that, how many times did we take and pick up sticks and we pretended and things like that? That stick didn't cost any money, but we enjoyed it as a kid. Okay. It's part of our childhood. It's part of what made us who we are today. And I want to make sure that people understand that. Yes, prepping is about gathering supplies. Yes, it's about learning new skills. Yes, it's about putting those skills into practice and mastering as many as you possibly can. There's a lot of ugly when it comes to it. There's a lot of boring when it comes to it. There's also a lot of fun when when we look for it. And we need to make sure that we prepare for all of that, because if you don't have that in your prep, if you don't have that, the ideas set now, if you don't have the notion that there is going to be time for fun, and honestly, I would argue you need to make time for fun, even if it's short. Uh, it's just that little bit that morale needs to be up. Otherwise, you get one that cracks, and it can lead to a whole cascading effect. Just a daisy chain of snap, snap, snap. And what seemed to be really good on paper, suddenly in the real world, it's not as strong as what you think it is. You know, you don't want a small child that's 5, 6 years old go the next 5 years without playing a game. All they know is work, work, work. That's no way to develop and grow up. Same thing for an adult. That's why we do vacations or staycations or different things like that. And that's why probably most of you go out and you seek something for fun. There's something that you enjoy to do. Maybe it's not a board game. Maybe it's not kicking a ball. If grandma's in a wheelchair and 90 years old, she's probably not going to want to play dodgeball. I get it, but doesn't necessarily mean that she can't do something that's fun, or that she doesn't want to have fun. Okay. I've met a bunch of people, young, old, and everywhere in between. And you go, what do you do for fun? And they can list a few things. At the very minimum, they can list a few things. There's a lot of different things that bring joy to people. And some want to do active things, others want to sit down. Sometimes telling stories is fun, drawing's fun, reading's fun. Just because it's not your cup of tea doesn't mean it's not their favorite. So, it's one of those that if you have not planned for this, it might be a really good thing to get everybody in your household into your bug out sort of thing, whoever's in your group for bugging out or bugging in or anything along those lines. When SHTF situation happens, to sit your group down and go, all right, we've got our food covered, we've got our water covered, we've got somebody on medical and somebody on hunting and security and this and that and everything. We got all these everything completely covered. We've got them covered 3 ways from Sunday. What are we going to do for fun? And go around, what do you like to do, what do you like to do, and you might find that most of everybody likes doing the same exact thing. Uh, but it'd be a good thing to go through and ask everybody and get it out of everybody, because it needs to be incorporated. It is important. It should be uh, in that little kind of like binder of all your notes of first, second, third, fourth. Here's everybody's roles and responsibilities and all that. Uh, it needs to be in there. What are we doing for fun? And I think hopefully that you'll see that I'm trying to drive the importance of this home. So hopefully you got something out of this one. It kind of weighed on me after reading that. I was trying to figure out a good response, and hopefully I answered it and gave a little bit to it, and maybe shed a little bit different of a light and things like that. Tell me down in the comment section. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you agree that fun is important? and that more people need to take it seriously and consider it for SHTF, or do you think it's complete hogwash and nonsense, and that SHTF is just going to be a struggle every second of the way? Uh, I'm curious. What do you guys think? So, thank you so much for spending some time with me and then going all the way through. Looks like we got 20 minutes. So if you made it this far, guess what? You rock. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.